What does it take to build a dynasty in NASCAR? Solid commitment, boundless resources, and a strong drive to be the best. That's precisely what Tony Stewart and Gene Haas set out to achieve when they formed the powerhouse team Stewart-Haas Racing in 2008. But over a decade later, that same team now lies in ruins, a victim of its owner's lack of leadership and inability to sustain the level of commitment required for sustained success. Subscribe to NASCAR today and press the bell icon. Right out of the gate, this team was a force to be reckoned with. Tony Stewart, a two-time Cup Series champion, brought his extraordinary talent and no-nonsense attitude to the table. Combine that with Gene Haas's deep pockets and willingness to invest heavily in the team, and you had a recipe for success that seemed too good to be true. And they did. In his first year as co-owner, Stewart wasted no time in asserting SHR's dominance, winning 4 races and reminding everyone why he's considered one of the greatest drivers of all time. But that was just the beginning. In 2011, Stewart captured his 3rd Cup Series championship under the SHR banner, solidifying the team's status as a force to be reckoned with. The team's rise didn't stop there. SHR continued to attract top talent including Kevin Harvick, who joined the fold in 2014 and promptly delivered the team's 2nd Cup Series title that very same year. With an array of high-profile sponsors and a steady stream of key free agent signings, SHR had firmly planted its flag among NASCAR's elite organizations like Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, and Team Penske. Just as Stewart and Haas had promised, SHR had shoved its way into NASCAR's penthouse, and it seemed like the dynasty was just getting started. In recent years, as SHR's on-track performance began to wane, it became increasingly clear that Stewart and Haas had taken their eyes off the prize. Both owners had allowed their attention to be diverted by other racing ventures, leaving SHR to fend for itself. Stewart's focus shifted to his NHRA drag racing team, where he spent most weekends alongside his wife, who drove for the team last year. Meanwhile, Haas invested heavily in his Formula One operation, pouring resources into his F1 team at the expense of SHR. As Kevin Harvick, who had spent a decade with SHR, so poignantly put it after working with Hendrick Motorsports, "I heard from the owner twice in 2 weeks, so that's different. At SHR, I had a very special group of people that succeeded in a structure that wasn't as structured in what we're in this situation, at Hendrick. I had a lot of success at Stewart-Haas Racing, and all the things we did I'm super proud of and love the relationships that we have, but it's just different, vastly different cultures." That's a scathing indictment of the lack of leadership and structure at SHR, compared to the well-oiled machine that is Hendrick Motorsports. Harvick's words speak volumes about the stark contrast between the two organizations and the impact that hands-on ownership can have on a team's success. As SHR's owners became increasingly disengaged, the team began to hemorrhage sponsors. First, it was Smithfield, a longtime partner who decided to pull the plug on their NASCAR involvement entirely. Then, in a devastating blow, Anheuser-Busch, another major backer, jumped ship and threw their support behind the up-and-coming Trackhouse Racing team. SHR's partnership with Ford, which had been a cornerstone of their success, was set to end after the 2024 season. Without the backing of a major manufacturer, continuing in NASCAR would be an uphill battle for the team. It was clear that the once mighty SHR was crumbling, and the lack of leadership from Stewart and Haas was the driving force behind its demise. In their joint statement announcing the shutdown, Stewart and Haas acknowledged the immense commitment required for success in NASCAR. It is a decision that did not come easily, nor was it made quickly. Racing is a labor-intensive, humbling sport. It requires unwavering commitment and vast resources with a 365-day mindset to be better than everyone else. It's part of what makes success so rewarding. But the commitment needed to extract maximum performance while providing sustainability is incredibly demanding. And we've reached a point in our respective personal and business lives where it's time to pass the torch. It's a brutally honest assessment from the owners, admitting that they simply couldn't muster adequate commitment required to keep SHR competitive. Without that level of dedication from the top, it was only a matter of time before the team's fortunes took a turn for the worse. But what about the drivers and crew members who have poured their blood, sweat, and tears into SHR over the years? Well, their futures are now shrouded in uncertainty, and the news has hit them hard. Chase Briscoe, one of SHR's rising stars, expressed his sadness and concern in a heartfelt post on social media. "I never thought this day would come, you know? I've been at Stewart-Haas for the last 7 years now. It's truly become like home to me and feels like a family. And just what an incredible group of men and women at this place that just make it feel like home and just make you enjoy coming to work each and every day. I just hope that all the guys and gals at this place, find a great opportunity, because each and every single person here deserves it. Just an incredible group of people that have all put in so much hard work and effort and just sacrificed so much for me to be able to live out my dream of, driving race cars and winning at the highest level." Briscoe's future is particularly uncertain, as he was reportedly under contract with SHR through the 2025 season. Meanwhile, Noah Gragson, Josh Berry, and the rest of the SHR stable are now left scrambling to find new rides for the 2025 campaign. But there's a silver lining for some of these drivers. Teams like Front Row Motorsports, 2311 Racing, and Trackhouse Racing are reportedly interested in scooping up SHR's valuable charters. According to Bob Pockris of Fox Sports, the plan is for these teams to each acquire one charter, with the fourth still up for grabs. For drivers like Gragson and Briscoe, who have shown immense potential and have already tasted success at the Cup Series level, finding new homes shouldn't be too difficult. Gragson, in particular, is one of NASCAR's most popular personalities and has already garnered significant attention from fans and teams alike. However, for the crew members and behind-the-scenes personnel, the road ahead may be more uncertain. These are the unsung heroes who have dedicated countless hours to keeping SHR's operation running smoothly, and now they face the prospect of having to start over elsewhere. As for the fans, the news of SHR's impending shutdown has been met with a mixture of sadness, frustration, and a sense of loss. One fan lamented, "Sad to see what's happened to them because of the lack of communication and leadership from the owners." Another longtime SHR supporter expressed a deep sense of connection to the team, saying, "As an SHR fan since 2009, I feel lost. When Tony retired, I cheered for Harvick, and when Harvick retired, Briscoe became my driver. Now I guess I will be cheering for Chase wherever he ends up, but it sure doesn't feel the same." For many fans, SHR was more than just a racing team. It was a source of pride, a symbol of what could be achieved with the right combination of talent, resources, and determination. To see it crumble due to circumstances largely out of their control is a bitter pill to swallow. But beyond the emotional impact, the demise of SHR also has broader implications for the sport of NASCAR as a whole. This once formidable team, with its impressive stable of drivers and resources, was a key player in maintaining the competitiveness and excitement of the Cup Series. Without SHR in the mix, the landscape of NASCAR will undoubtedly shift, and the level of competition may suffer as a result. Additionally, the loss of SHR's charters and personnel could have ripple effects throughout the entire NASCAR ecosystem. As teams like Front Row Motorsports, 2311 Racing, and Trackhouse Racing look to acquire SHR's assets, it could lead to a reshuffling of alliances and partnerships, altering the balance of power within the sport. And there you have it, race fans, the shocking rise and catastrophic downfall of the once mighty Stewart-Haas racing dynasty. From the dizzying heights of championships and marquee driver signings, to the lack of leadership, sponsor losses, and being outright abandoned by its owners, SHR's collapse serves as a brutal cautionary tale. No amount of talent or resources can save a team without true commitment from the top. As the smoke clears and teams like Front Row, 2311, and Trackhouse look to scoop up the remains, the futures of SHR's drivers and crew hang in the balance. Will Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, and the rest find new top-tier homes? Or will they get caught in the fallout? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Today for more hard-hitting NASCAR analysis.